Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, DJ Chardae and Bopp.
And it's your boy, DJ Big Bopper here.
And we're back with another episode of Wave of the Planet.
That is right. It's Wednesday, so you know what it means. A little bit of music news, a little bit of everything today.
And we got a lot of stuff to discuss, so all right, Bopp, let's get into it.
So let's go ahead and start it up with our song of the week. I'm going to go ahead and let Chardae go first.
No, you go first.
All right, I will go first. We're going a little bit. I have been on this riffraff binge right now. And so I'm going to have to go with Carlos Slim by Riff Raff. And if you don't know Riff Raff, he's a Houston rapper. He's kind of exuberant. He is the Peach Panther. He is the neon icon, Riff Raffs. Go ahead and check him out if you haven't already heard of him.
Yeah, I hope you have heard of him. He's doing some exciting things soon. Mine, I've talked about him before. One of my favorite bands right now at the moment is the Aces. They're like I don't know how to describe them. They're like a retro pop. They do some stuff that sounds kind of jazzy sometimes. I don't know. But my favorite song this week is by them. It's called Last One. So, and their music video just came out for it. So that's my song of the week.
Heck yeah. We're going to go through. We got a little bit of news today. We got the Billboard magazine actually turned 60 on Saturday, so we got a little bit on that. We got a little bit to talk about Drake as well. We got Spotify again with a
shocker.
I know, imagine that. So we got Spotify taking off some more content, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. I know we had talked about that in previous weeks on like how they've been doing that, so we're going to delve a little bit in on that. We got a little bit more on Demi, a little bit of update on her. We got a star in Sydney. She went down. She ended up going to the hospital. And then we're going to talk a little bit about musicals. Chardae, what else we got?
We also got some really funny Cardi B news this week. We got some news from the Plain White Tees. It's been a while since, they've been on the thing. And then, of course, we gotta talk about J. Cole Feed Me Beats. So, let's jump into it, Bopp.
I think I want to go ahead and start off on the whole Spotify thing.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because we've been a little bit of talking how they took out X's music, which, by the way, if you hadn't known, the fourth suspect that was in X's murder has turned himself in Florida, so he is now going to be standing on trial. So all four people are now in custody, so they're going to be getting to the bottom of that shortly, hopefully. And they said this one might have been the trigger man.
Yeah,
so.
And that happened, I think, just this morning or last night.
Yeah, I think it was like today or yesterday. So
another thing going out around about X is that the charges were dropped for his case. People were saying, so everyone who said he didn't do it, blah, blah, blah. Now, there just needs to be some explanation. If you die, you cannot be charged with something in court because you cannot defend yourself.
Right.
So that's why the charges are dropped. Whether he did it or not, some people believe he did, some people believe he didn't. I don't know, but the charges were dropped because he cannot defend himself in court. So that's still out for debate. But what happened was Alex Jones was pulled from Apple, Spotify, and Facebook. He's still on Twitter, and Twitter has made a statement about it. But so basically, top technology companies erased most of the posts and videos on their services from Alex Jones, the internet's notorious conspiracy theorists, thrusting themselves into a fraught debate over their role in regulating what can be said online. So Apple, Google, Facebook, and Spotify severely restricted the reach of Mr. Jones and InfoWars, his right-wing site that has been a leading peddler of false information online.
See, another one, and I thought this was the first time I've really seen YouTube in it, but YouTube also suspended him for 30 days on their platform, and he cannot live stream for 90 days on their platform, which is a first to see YouTube in there. I know it's been a lot of Spotify and then like a little bit of Apple Play Music, but it wasn't. YouTube's kind of stayed,
Well, YouTube has been doing some stuff. I watch YouTube a lot, so and I've followed some YouTubers and stuff. So I've seen kind of their struggle with there's new things that are getting restricted and getting flagged and taken away, and of course the whole. I don't think we ever talked about it, but the whole Jake Paul thing. So YouTube has been making some moves behind the scenes, but this one that kind of came out about. Basically, he has said Alex Jones. Everyone knows that he's just a huge conspiracy theorist. He's said some things. Go ahead and tell him about the frogs.
So he's very conservative. He was, I don't know if you had seen the clip, but there's this one clip, and it's always memorable to me. And he's just ramped up, and he's ranting and screaming like per Alex Jones, and he goes, "They're putting chemicals in the water to turn the freaking frogs gay," and it's just like.
Yeah.
Okay.
He says
he's talking about how there's a gay bomb, and he's like, tap water. What do you think it is?
Yeah. He said, "What do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby."
And so Alex Jones, he's a
character.
He plays this character that is just he does this for reaction. It's shock.
100%.
It's I wouldn't say it's shock value, but it is definitely controversial.
Yeah, absolutely.
For no reason. It's just being controversial to be controversial.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it does stem good conversation, and it does make you actually think and do your own research. So I mean, that's one good side, I think. But the other flip side is, and I think the biggest part of the case is about how he spearheaded the Sandy Hook shooting is a fake.
Yeah. So Mr. Jones and InfoWars have used social media for years to spread dark and bizarre theories, such as that the Sandy Hook school shooting was a hoax and that Democrats run a global child sex ring.
Which, I mean, it's number one rule is you don't touch children. You don't talk about children. You mess with children. Like it was a.
And he doesn't mean that in the literal sense. He means like news wise stuff like that.
When it comes to you don't
mess with kids. Even that's a thing. Like, and it did happen during Obama's presidency, and it has happened during Trump's presidency. But I think ever since Clinton, they didn't want them to touch the Clinton girls or the Bush twins, because you just don't. You can criticize someone's politics, you can criticize the way someone is, but do not. Their children are off limits.
Yeah, it's just like they got on to Barron during the election.
Yeah,
because he was like bored, trying to sleep. I was like, this kid's been up all day.
Honestly,
it's 3
in the
morning. You know, and it's just like he's a kid. Just let him be a kid. Just because his dad's the president doesn't change the fact that he's still a child.
Yeah.
So that we'll get back to it. Like I said, so he spearheaded the whole conspiracy theorist about how it was a fake and it was made up by the government, and so that was a little bit too far. Definitely too far in my opinion. I feel like he crossed that line because, like I said, I like Alex Jones as the character because it does make you think, does make you like double check. Wait, is that true? And actually do your research. And I feel like it's at least kind of helps people try to like educate themselves, because they're like, no, that's not true. And then look it up and do their research, and it's like, see, I knew I was right. So
and then so the reason that it's happening. Not too long ago, Facebook, was it Facebook? One of these social media platforms or media platforms came back and said it was free speech, free speech. But then there's a difference between free speech and hate speech. And so he's made hate speech against gays, against Muslims, against literally almost anyone that there is. And then he also made claims. He said that the Boston Marathon bombing was engineered by the FBI.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely more one of those jet fuel melt steel beams kind of guy, most definitely. And
the Pulse nightclub shooting was plotted by the U.S. government. So he's just, honestly, he kind of just takes things, twists them to make people talk about it.
So let me put it this way. Like, if you don't know this character and you don't really want to have to worry about looking him up or anything, I'll try to give you a little rundown of him. One of the episodes he's got a tinfoil hat. He's got the tinfoil hat on. He talks about the chemtrails. He talks just about literally everything, all those crazy things. The only thing that he does not support, I mean, he goes, global warming is a myth. The only thing he does not support is the flat earth, which I'm quite surprised, because I feel like
Bopp is low-key a flat earther.
Because I think that would be the funniest one for him to do, because they are just so out there.
Yeah.
But
I think he's stupid and funny. Like I think that to be a person who watches him and takes his words as Bible,
which
that's
I know
ridiculous.
Some people do. Like my grandfather, for one, is one of those people, and I'm like, Granddad, that's not.
Bopp goes to his grandpa's house and he says, "Grab a bottle of water. Don't drink the tap."
Yeah, I was like,
it's funny. I tweeted something. Go follow me on Twitter at Chardangerous, SHAR Dangerous. And Bopp, what's your Twitter?
It is at the Boppinator. The Terminator, but
Bopp. We're going to plug ourselves. That's shameless. I said, what do you think tap water is? It's a gay bomb, baby. Do you think I'm like, shocked by it? So I'm up here bashing it because I don't like gay people. I don't like them putting chemicals in the water that turn the frickin' frogs gay. Alex Jones. So I just think that I don't take him seriously. If I'm going to listen to him, I'm going to laugh and be like, this guy's a character. Some people do take him seriously.
I honestly think he's just a satirical character, and that's like the whole role he plays is just this controversial
so
person.
Intense,
because he's not like that off camera, like in his actual life, he's not like that. So I think he's just portraying this character that just kind of like make you think. So the Spotify spokesperson actually ended up talking to NPR, and as you know, we are an NPR station, so we got a little bit of this news, and he goes, we take our reports of hate content seriously and review a podcast episode or song that is flagged by our community. Spotify can confirm it has removed specific episodes of the Alex Jones Show podcast for violating our hate content policy. So they already screened through, I guess, and took out all these before banning him, so I guess the last one or another one was like a final straw, and they just went ahead and, all right, we're taking you off for, I don't know, did Spotify say it was like a certain amount of time? Because I know YouTube said it was
I don't think Spotify gave a time limit, but what I do know is I think Apple did it first. Mm-hmm. And so, because I was reading, and Facebook did it at like 3 a.m. So it was Apple and then Facebook. It was one of those things, like, I hate to relate it to the Me Too movement, but once one person or big company came out about it and like removed their stuff, and then everyone else was like, yeah, I mean, honestly, we've been wanting to do this for a while.
Well, Facebook's kind of been in like the heat with like their privacy policies and everything
Facebook's
going on already. It is.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're definitely on the preventative measure of trying to make sure that they're so Facebook can't get any more hate or get any more trouble, because I mean, we already had Mark Zuckerberg was at the Capitol having to go through hearings to the Senate and the House of Representatives. So, they've been definitely trying to stay on the down low. Stay off the radar,
Yeah, I think that's another reason. I don't know if they publicly came out about it, but I know that it was removed at 3 a.m. So that was kind of a time. No one on Facebook at that time. And so
that's probably why they did it.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is unfortunate, because I like to watch him because, like I said, he's an ironic character to me. He's just playing this character, and I think it's quite... I find it entertaining, but then there's people that take it seriously, and it's just like...
I've never watched or listened to him. I've seen some of his clips.
I've shown her clips.
Yeah, I've seen clips, and I think it's... the character that he's playing is definitely funny and controversial, but let's get some happy news, Bob. We got any happy news? Let's talk about Drake.
Okay, so we do got some happy news. So we got a little bit about Drake. I want to go ahead and start. We're going to go with the Billboards. Like I said, was turning the Billboard's Top 100 has turned 60 years old. So I'm going to go ahead and start it off with our female empowerment. We got the top 10 greatest Billboard Hot 100 female artists who have debuted after the 2000s.
Okay, can I guess a couple?
Sure.
Obviously. So there's 10, right?
10.
Okay, and this is over the past how many years?
Since the 2000s.
Okay. I got to think of like when I was in middle school, who was I listening to? Katy Perry.
Yes.
This is in no order. Obviously Taylor Swift is up there. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Rihanna, definitely. I don't know what order though. Is Miley on there?
Mm-mm.
Ooh, I like it. Pink?
Nope.
No, wait. Okay, so Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, Rihanna. You said since the 2000s?
Mm-hmm.
Ariana Grande?
No.
Wow. Who?
We got number 1, Rihanna.
Ooh, okay.
Number 2, Taylor Swift.
Okay.
Number 3, and we had talked about how she went I think she's 12 times certified platinum now. Katy Perry.
Okay, yeah.
Beyonce's number 4.
Duh, that's
number
obvious.
5 is Lady Gaga. Number 6 is Alicia Keys. Number 7, Kelly Clarkson, which is I believe that's the only country art. Oh, I take that back. T-Swizzle. Sorry.
Yeah.
And then number 8 is Adele. Number 9, Nicki Minaj, and at number 10 we have Kesha.
Oh, I love Kesha.
So that was our top 10 greatest Billboard Hot 100 females for after 2000. So congratulations to all those ladies. And then we're going to talk about a week ago that when Drake dropped his new album, Scorpion, he actually defeated a more than 50-year-old record that the Beatles held for the greatest dominance of the top 10. Drake had 7 songs in the top 10, while the Beatles only had 5. So the 7 songs on the list, he had them all on at the same time.
Let me guess. Do you have the list?
No, I don't have.
Okay, never mind.
I can
go.
guarantee you In My Feelings is one of them.
In My Feelings, Nonstop. Probably
upset,
March 14th,
probably.
I'm Upset.
God's Plan.
God's Plan, yeah.
So
those.
So he still has 7 on the list, which and he also holds the number 1 spot right now within My Feelings. So
and that's going to be there for a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, that's the challenge with the challenge going on. He just came out with a music video with it. So
speaking of In My Feelings, he just came out with a music video. Do you remember? Okay, last week when we recorded, I was like, I think the music video for Nonstop had just came out. And so I was like, are we going to get a music video for In My Feelings? I was like, I feel like we probably are, but we don't know. It came out literally the next day. So it hasn't even been out for a week yet. It came out on the 2nd, so it'll be a week tomorrow. And it's got 49 million views and counting already. It's starring Drake, obviously. Lala Anthony, she's from Power. She's from a lot of stuff. I think she did some TRL stuff back in the day and a lot of stuff with MTV. Also, you may know her as Carmelo Anthony's ex. I think they have a kid together. And then Felicia Rashad, that's the mom from the Huxtables.
Okay.
So it's real funny and it's real cute because basically it's like he's outside of her window, like throwing rocks, trying to, get her to come out with him. And Felicia Rashad plays the mom. But it's real. I loved it. I thought it was so good. Big Frida's there and the City Girls. City Girls is Young Miami. That's the girl who appears on the track. Remember, we've been wondering who it was. It's her. So she's in the music video, and she sings her verse in the music video. And then Big Frida was there. Like, she wanted to be in the video. She contacted him as soon as the song came out and was like, hey, I want to be in the music video. So that happened. And basically, it's just like scenes around New Orleans and a lot of people dancing and stuff. People are doing the dance in it. Shiggy, this is the guy who started it. So this is the guy who did it first. He's in the music video. And then he's at the very end. Basically, the whole music video is like Drake's having a dream. And so, like, when he wakes up from the dream, Shiggy is like his assistant or one of the PA guys on set for something. But, so my favorite part was, like, towards the end of the video, he, like, features all the people who have done it before, like a bunch of people who've done it before. So he's got Will Smith doing it in there, and he scaled a bridge in Budapest to record his.
Dang.
Sierra's in there. The guys from Netflix's Queer Eye, which if you haven't watched Queer Eye on Netflix, watch it. You'll cry every episode. It's so good. But basically, yeah, they did their versions and led to like thousands of people doing the challenge. And the challenge got so big, but like people started taking it to the extremes. And so it's not banned.
Oh,
but,
I thought it was you could get fined now.
Yes, you can get fined for doing it because what people are doing, it started with people just like dancing. And then people were like hopping out of their cars and dancing while the car was still going. And so people are saying, well, if you're like impeding traffic, you can get fined for that. One guy got hit by a car.
Yeah.
Well, there was one that was fake and then there was one that was real. She was like joking, like the car was going really fast. But then there was another guy and he was doing it and he was supposed to like jump over the car. But he didn't jump, and so he got hit by the car, and it was his friend driving. But
yeah, I do remember seeing that one.
The challenge is just taking over. But I don't know. I was so excited. Number one, that we finally got a music video for it, and number two, that he paid homage to number one Shiggy for doing it, and number two, for giving credit to everyone else. And then we got one for Nonstop, and that one takes place in London.
Okay.
So, and it's pretty much film from him promoting it or performing it for the first time. And then there's some scenes of him in a club in, I think, London, I believe. Some of it might have been shot in Toronto. But so, yeah, those are his music videos came out this week and last week. And I don't know. I'm so excited for a new Drake music video every time. So I felt good about it. I was super excited about it. And that song is still on the charts. Is it still number one?
Yeah, I believe it is.
It's going to be for a while. So.
And then, so we're going to switch a little bit. We got a little bit happy news and we got a little bit of worrying news.
It's time to sadden it down.
Yeah.
Insert. Aww.
So we got down under. I don't know. We finally got a cold front, which for us is like, instead of being 110 degrees, it's like 98 degrees. So we got a little bit of a cold front to drop it down. But down under in Australia, apparently they did not have that cold front there because Pink was sent to the hospital at Sydney for suffering of dehydration. So she had a little bit of a heat stroke, but she was treated and she was later discharged, and she's recovering and she's doing well. So it's just kind of crazy because we've had every week or so we had a star go down on a performance or when they're out and about, something's been going down. And another one is
speaking of recovery news, we
got Demi Lovato. Okay. She was supposedly was hospitalized late July following a unspecified overdose that everybody thought that it was going to be heroin because they used Narcan on it, so they figured it was heroin. It is yet to be confirmed of what it is. I believe as of this morning, it still has yet to be confirmed. We just got something from Demi. She said, "I've always been transparent about my journey with addiction." And she wrote this on, I think it was like August 5th on her Instagram, and she continues to say, "What I've learned that this illness is not something that disappears or fades with time. It is something I must continue to overcome, and I have not done yet. I want to thank my family, my team, and the staff at Cedars-Sinai who have been at my side the entire time. Without them, I wouldn't be here writing this letter to all of you. I now know that I need time to heal and focus on my sobriety and the road to recovery. The love you have all shown me will never be forgotten, and I look forward to the day where I can come out on the other side." So she sent that out to all her followers and just let everybody know, all her fans, let them know what she's doing and what her plan is, how much they mean to her. And to make it a little bit happier news on that, she actually ended up reaching 7 billion total views on YouTube, which I think it was like 5.5 before this. Wow. Or something. It was like she got I know at least 1 billion views after all of this. So
that and she had a song called Sober come out about a month and a half ago, and basically I think we've talked about it before. Yeah. But basically she was talking about how she wasn't sober anymore. She was apologizing to her parents, and everyone around her, very sorry for it. Well, it has 18 million views on the lyric video. And that came out about a month ago. So, and then I don't know if it's a music video, but it has 3.7 mil. So, I think that a lot of times, and I've heard this before, a lot of people have been talking about it and saying a lot of times, we think that music is subjective, and anything can mean whatever you want it to mean. But this specifically, she's specifically talking about not being sober anymore. So it is sad that she did overdose and go through that, but I think that she wasn't ready to be clean. She was clean for 6 years. But we have to remember Demi Lovato was so young. She's still kind of in that I want to live my life and do what I want stage. Yeah. She's not ready to settle down yet. Some people aren't ever ready to settle down. So it's really just, whatever she wants to do. And that's not to say that she didn't take it seriously because, sobriety is a serious thing. But I think that having gone through an experience like that is going to, number one, change things up. And I'm glad she's getting help. I'm glad she's getting the help that she needs.
Me as well. And like I said, it's a disease. Like she was saying, it's a disease, and she's something she's fighting. So I hope her the best on the road of recovery, and I hope she can make it through being sober and not relapse and not have to worry about ODing again. So So I wish the best to her and the family. So there was a poll to see which were the most popular musicals in high school. And I don't know if y'all didn't know, I was in theater when I was
Bopp
in high school.
was a theater nerd.
Oh, I love theater. I love it.
Hey, I was in band. I was in marching band, so it was like theater on a field, kind of, sort of.
I get.
We performed shows.
Yeah.
So they weren't as long, but.
And I enjoyed musicals. I was in 3 musicals, but I only had a big part in one, and that was Beauty and the Beast.
So musicals were enjoyable to you?
Musicals are enjoyable to me.
I like musicals too. I like to watch them. I never had the guts to like try out for a musical or theater, but I always wanted to.
See, I didn't really try out. Well, I always loved theater, so I was in the theater program because I like to build, so I was building a lot of their equipment. Or if they needed a big idiot for some reason to like, for instance, I've had to carry people off the stage. I've had to do like pick people up, throw them around, do big people things.
Do big man stuff.
And
literal big man on campus.
Yeah, literally. And they ended up saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have this. We're gonna have a musical. We're gonna be doing a musical, and we want you to be one of the roles." I was like, first time, I've never been in the spotlight, so I was like, I don't really know about that, but I ended up doing. I was like, I wasn't really confident of my singing ability, and this is something that I found out. If you did not know this, it does not matter who you are. You can learn to sing. I could not sing before I was taught how to sing. You can learn how to sing well.
That's good to know. I have hope.
Which unfortunate, I've had some ear injuries since then, so I no longer. I'm shy to sing in public now simply because I can't tell if I'm hitting my notes or stuff anymore. So it's really one of those things that I need trying to work with and overcoming.
I don't think you guys know this yet, but Bopp is like deaf in one ear.
Actually, that's not.
It's not completely true,
false or true. My eardrums have burst so many times that finally the last time they weren't repairable. So I have mechanical eardrums, and so I can hear some pitches, and I can not hear some other pitches. So sometimes I can hear, and sometimes I have super hearing, and sometimes I can't hear 5 feet away from me. So
and it's so funny. Okay, so and Lance is actually right here right now. Hi, Lance. Well, so basically, we have an alarm that goes off every day at 11 o'clock because we have to do logs in the office. And when I come in Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I do morning edition. So there's an 8 to 10 log, 10 to 12 log, and then
1 to
4, and then like 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
So on Wednesdays when we're in here recording, the 11 o'clock timer goes off to do the logs. And sometimes before we would start the podcast, like before we would do it, we'd just be sitting at our desks, and my desk is all the way to the left, and the timer is like all the way to the right. Mm-hmm. So like I'll hear the timer go off, and Bopp just like stands there. He just like sits there, and I'm like, "Hey, you want to get that?" And it's decently loud, and he's just like, "What?" And I'm like, "Really, Bopp?"
See, I guess it kind of works out like those higher pitch, more annoying sounds I can't hear. So like, it's great when I get in an argument with girls because I can't hear what they are saying. So it's great. I mean, it's kind of bad because then they get mad at me, but it is what it is. I actually learned to hear it, but I hear it like as this high pitch, just like ring thing. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how it really sounds. I just know I hear this kind of high pitch, kind of like a dog whistle. And so that's when I know to do things. So like I said, since then, how I hear my voice has changed, how I hear like music has changed, how I hear things have changed. So I can never tell if I'm going to hit these right notes. So I just try not to sing anymore, even though I actually do enjoy it and I used to be good at it. Like I said, first musical I ever did that I was like main stage, I was the number one guy. I was Gaston in Beauty and the Beast.
No way.
Well, it was either the Beast or Gaston, and they was like, well, your face is a little too pretty to put behind a mask.
Oh.
So you're gonna have to be Gaston because you're the biggest guy here. And I was like, I can do that.
Do you have that tape?
Which tape? Oh, do I have the video of it? Yeah.
Can I see it? No.
My parents have it.
Honestly, I feel like
That's at
you're
home.
genuinely really good.
I was.
Aww.
They taught you, like, I legitimately learned how to, like, I had voice lessons for 3 months. Our choir teachers gave us voice lessons because they're like, anybody can learn to sing as long as you try. I was like,
Bopp is
I'm down.
Gaston. I like it.
I know back when I was much more physically fit, much slimmer.
Back in the good old days, weren't we all?
Yeah, isn't that the truth? The freshman 20 is no joke. No joke.
Freshman 15, more like freshman 50, am I right?
Correct.
But anyway, so we're talking about musicals.
So we're going to start, like I said, these are the top 10 rated musicals. So we're going to go ahead. The musicals stayed mostly the same this year. There were some newcomers in the plays list. That include Radium Girls, and I don't know if you've ever seen Radium Girls live. I've seen it as a one act, and let me tell you what, it is a very sad story. The Radium Girls tells the story of a young woman who worked in radium dial factories painting clock frames, or like the clock faces. So what they would do is they'd like put it in their mouth, put the paintbrush in their mouth, dip it in the radium paint, and then paint it on these or watch faces, and they do it again. So they are ingesting radium, which is, if you don't know, what
dangerous
radioactive materials can kill you, cause deformities, cause cancer, cause all kinds of bad things.
Hashtag Chernobyl RIP.
So basically, this is the first time girls were able to get a job. They were able to make money. So like a bunch of young, pretty girls flocked to this. They all ended up dying of radium poisoning.
Let's give women jobs. That'll kill them.
So the only good thing that came out of that is obviously a lot of safety standards and health standards for workers, not just women, men as well. So that's one good thing. Like I said, that play is very sad, but it's got a good message to it. We had You Can't Take It With You, but the most common high school performance of all times has still been among the top 6 every decade since the 40s. So that's kind of cool. But we're going to go through the top 10 musicals. So
a tale as old as time.
Number 10 is Annie, which I've never done. Number 9 is The Wizard of Oz, which we have done in both musical form and regular form. We did The Little Shop of Horrors as well, and that's number 8.
That one happened. I never saw that one, but that one did happen at my high school.
And number 7 is The Seussical, which, while I never was in it, I built a lot of the props and set pieces for.
I saw Seussical because my cousin performed in it, and she played the kangaroo. My mom is an amazing seamstress, so she made my cousin did a lot of plays in high school, so that's how I know most of these. And she pretty much sewed all of her costumes. So she made the kangaroo costume, but my favorite part was when my cousin was done. We literally, because, you had to pad that thing up. And we padded it up and fought in the yard. Like, I would just, run after her and try and tackle her. It was a lot of fun. But continue. Seussical was great.
Which, okay, I don't know if you've ever, I'm assuming everybody who's listening has seen or read a Dr. Seuss book, so they kind of see.
If you haven't, turn the podcast off.
So you can kind of see what I was trying to recreate in live action, which is nearly impossible. Thank you very much. So I thought for what it was, it turned out pretty good. But number 6 is, which I didn't know was a musical, is Shrek. Shrek the musical, which I wish we did because I would love to be Shrek.
Okay, so Tarleton has done Shrek the musical a couple times, and I think if they do it this year, I'm definitely going to go see it. The reason that I knew Shrek was a musical, and if you're a Netflix nerd, you knew it was a musical as well, because for the longest time, Shrek was not on Netflix, but Shrek the second, and then I think even the third, and then they have the Halloween special. All of that's on Netflix, but the first Shrek wasn't. But the musical was. So I watched the musical one day, and it was pretty good. I liked it. But yeah, the real movie wasn't on there for the longest time. So,
which another one that I was surprised to know that was a musical, and it's not on this list, but it's Spider-Man the musical. That's an actual thing.
Oh, is that on Broadway?
I think it is now. I know at first it got shut down because it was too dangerous.
Oh, because somebody got hurt.
But then they revamped it, and I think it is now. But I said we're going to go to number 5 is Cinderella, which I don't think I've done the musical to Cinderella, but I definitely did. We did the play Cinderella because I built all the sets again, the prop pieces. So, number 4 is Into the Woods, which I've never seen. I never known, but I know it's a movie, and I've kept wanting to watch it, but I keep forgetting.
We'll have to watch it. Let's watch it, and we'll talk about it one day, because I haven't seen it either, but I've always wanted to, and I heard that it was really good. Because I think I don't want to say anything wrong, but I think it's kind of like a takeoff of Little Red Riding Hood. Is it?
Well, I don't think it's just Little Red Riding Hood. I think it's a
bunch of different.
I think it's a bunch of different things, kind of like the Grimm's or the Grimm's fairy tales with the Grimm brothers, but not so dark. I don't think it's dark. I don't know. I can't. Don't quote me on that because I haven't seen it. So that's one. And like I said, I kept wanting to watch it. I think the one time that I got a chance to watch it was on a plane, and
fell asleep.
Well, no. As soon as I turned it on, we had issues. Like 10 minutes in, I think we got through the credits, and it was kind of like setting it up. And then I guess like our plane just lost satellite coverage or something because I was like, okay, cool. So we got number 3, which is The Little Mermaid, which which I feel like would be really difficult to do.
I've seen some, so I haven't seen the whole thing, but I've seen some of the clips of The Little Mermaid being a musical, and it's actually really cool. Just because, like, a lot of these are Disney movies. Well, not a lot of them, but I mean, like, movies that you've seen on TV. And they're really easy to translate because the music is all there. Sometimes they'll add more songs in.
I feel like it would be a little difficult to even do The Little Mermaid. But did they? Because I know they were talking about The Little Mermaid, or was going to be a live action movie, and they were going to take out a lot of those songs.
And see, that's where it would get me. That's where I would like not watch, because I love The Little Mermaid and I love almost every single song in that movie.
That's what they said. Mulan. They're doing our movie on Mulan, but it's going to be more historically based on the actual character Mulan. That if y'all didn't know, she's an actual character, and she did even more amazing things in real life than she did actually in the movie. Which, I mean, she did amazing things in the movie, so that should tell you something. So this one for the Mulan's going to be a little, or they're taking at least most of the musical scores, if not all of them, out.
Well, see, that's the thing I don't want, because, they're revamping all these Disney movies, and I get it, and that's great, and that's fine. But sometimes I'm not into it. Like, I'm kind of scared to watch The Lion King.
See,
I did not like The Jungle Book. I didn't.
See, I thought The Jungle Book was all right.
I didn't think it was bad.
One thing I will disagree is with Mulan, Mulan, I'm kind of excited to see without the musical scores. Like I said, since it is going more historically accurate, I have high hopes.
I think that a good alternative to that, like if you like all those Disney movies and stories and stuff, but don't necessarily want the music, watch Once Upon a Time. Have you ever seen that show?
Mm-mm.
It's amazing. So basically, it takes place in this little town.
Oh, wait, this is where, like, all of the, they all live together and, like...
Yeah, and they all, like, come in and out of stuff, and, like, their storylines are there, and they kind of all rope together, and it's so cool. I'm, like, behind a couple seasons, but it's so good. One of the main characters for the longest time was Belle from Beauty and the Beast, and then...
I think, okay, so this is the one I remember... It doesn't have, like, the witch holding the apple. Wasn't that the Once Upon a Time? Wasn't that, like...
Yes, that was the, yeah.
Yeah, so, okay, I've seen it. I just haven't watched it.
And Rumpelstiltskin, he's in it, and I think he actually ends up becoming the Beast as well. And so it, like, ties the stories and stuff together. Oh, I'm sorry, spoiler alert, but I don't remember...
Rumpelstiltskin's a demon.
I don't remember how that happens or how everything happens. But it's so cool. It's such a good show. Not Spawn, but, go watch it.
Man, don't mess with my German heritage, man.
No, I think you'd like it. I actually really think you'd like it.
See, I prefer the Grimm fairy tales because those are the ones I was taught. Because as a kid, like we're told these to scare us into doing what we're supposed to do.
Exactly.
And then what does Disney does? Disney takes them and adapts and makes them kids things. So it was really weird for me to watch. Definitely Rumpelstiltskin, because I was terrified of him from when I was a child, is because they made them these they made them these kid-friendly characters.
No.
And I'm just like, this is not Little Red Riding Hood. At the end, I was like, that's not how it ends.
Yeah, exactly.
He eats the grandmother.
I
and the child.
love. See, that's the thing. It's very, very accurate towards Grimm. Is Once Upon a Time. So I think you'd like it.
So, yeah, maybe I will then. But we'll get back to so the Little Mermaid. I'm sorry, we kind of went off at the tangent. I actually do really enjoy theater, so if I just ramble off, I apologize. But we're going back to the Little Mermaid. See, this is how I feel like it would be kind of difficult to do because you got to do underwater and you got to do like, you got to do it on the surface and underwater, which I guess like if you wanted to do underwater, you put a screen in front of it all. Like
a blue hue.
Well, they have that see-through, but you can get like more of an ocean from and you can make it look more like ocean, and you can put a fan behind it to make it like kind of move to give them that there's like currents going, so they could see it, and then you would raise all your props. You have them all on fly lines, and you would just fly them up so they're like above the water line, but you can still see them.
Yeah.
So, and that's how I would do it. But that's just me.
My only request for the Little Mermaid movie, because I know it is happening and it's going to be live action, Ursula needs to be played by a drag queen. Ursula was based on a drag queen. I think she was based on the drag queen Divine, I think. So.
Well, then I think what we need is to, the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yes. Remake that, please. Do you know that I have only seen clips? But I love the clips that I saw.
I'm one of the few that have. Well, the one time that I was going to go see it, and if this is your first time to ever go see it, do not see it in theaters, because if it is going to be in theaters, like it has this crazy cult following. So if you're going to go see it in theaters, just be prepared.
Everyone's going to sing.
Be singing. They're going to be dressed up. It's going to be very different.
I feel like this was one of the very first cult movies to get such a huge following.
And I just was not prepared, and so I didn't finish the movie. I wasn't prepared for it. I was like, maybe some other time. I'm not about this. So we got number 2 on this list, which is just blows my mind, is the Addams Family.
I didn't know that the Addams Family was a musical because the only song I know from the Addams Family is the
intro. Yeah.
Da-da-da-da.
The Addams Family. Yeah,
exactly.
The intro. That's the only song. I was like, So, which one? It surprises me, one, that it's a musical, and 2, it's number 2 on the list.
How is it? How are so many high schools like, you know what? I want to be Wednesday Addams.
Which, don't get me wrong, I love the Addams Family. So,
I do.
No, I have no issues with it. But I'm just like, that's kind of odd.
Yep. And then what's number 1? I mean, I think you can all guess.
So we're going to go number 1. Number 1's obviously Gaston in Beauty and the Beast. So that's our number 1 musical.
How does that make you feel, Bob?
Which, I already knew I was number 1 because no one fights like Gaston, douses lights like Gaston, baby. I remember some of the scores. I remember most of the choreography. I could do it. Maybe.
I liked the new Beauty and the Beast movie.
Yeah, no, they did a really good job. Yeah. Live action. Did they take a lot of the songs out? I can't remember if they were singing.
I don't think they did. See, I think
there was singing. I remember now.
There was singing.
I remember now.
I think they used more of maybe some of the songs they used as an undertow.
Mm-hmm.
But I typically see, the thing is, I think when you take out the score, I know you're remaking something or revamping it. You don't need to remove the original songs. I think you maybe need to update them a little bit.
See, okay, actually, I remember now. They had
Gaston in
there. They had
there.
almost all of the songs in there, and then they added. There's a song that you could only get on the special edition of their 25th or 50th anniversary of Beauty and the Beast. I can't remember what it was, but it was their platinum release or whatever, and they had an extra scene at the end with another musical score that they actually ended up using in the live action Beauty and the Beast. It was at the very, very end. But it was in between him becoming the prince and the final dancing, or the final musical scene, which is, I can't remember what it is, but it's just them dancing in the ballroom, and it at the end is humans, and it's quite.
Oh, I don't know what scene you're talking about, because I didn't leave the movie theater for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
I waited here for that.
So,
well, good. I mean,
so that is the top 10 musicals. Like, I have personally been in, well, and these aren't all musicals that I was in. Some of them were just the normal adaptation of the play, but I was personally in 6 of these top 10, so I can confirm some of them did surprise me. But, you know, everybody loves a good musical, and you know, if you're out there and you got nothing to do on a Friday, Saturday night, and you got plays going on at Tarleton, you got plays going on at your local theater, you got plays going on in maybe a bigger theater like Dallas or Houston, you got their larger theaters, go see a play. It's
honestly
very enjoyable. Like, you will not regret it. I mean, let me take that back. I've watched The Sound of Music one time, which is one of my favorite musicals of all time, and they did a horrendous job. That's the only time I've ever had a bad thing to say about play, because it's just fun to see it live. It's just very...
And that's the thing that me and Bopp say. What we say about concerts and like musicals and stuff. Go out and see stuff live. Like, it's cool to watch stuff on TV, and that's all fun and games and stuff. But go watch it live.
Yeah, I mean,
it's such a good experience, no matter what.
Plus, it gets you out of the house, gives you something to do. I mean, what were you going to do? You were going to watch NBC or CNN or whatever's going on, or The Bachelor. Oh, that's over now, right? Or is there still one more?
No, it's over. Spoiler alert, Becca chose Garrett. It's fine. I'm happy for them.
I thought you were Team Garrett.
No, I was Team Blake.
Oh.
Blake's probably not going to be the Bachelor because everyone thinks he's too emotional, but whatever, it's fine. I'm glad that they found love. Ari and Lauren are getting married in a little bit, so congratulations. Bachelor in Paradise just started. I would love to recap that, but Bopp is not a Bachelor fan, so it's fine. But let's move on to Cardi B and Offset.
All right.
Because Cardi B is a character. We'd known this. I don't need these notes. So basically, Cardi B and Offset just got some matching lambos.
Mm-hmm.
His and her lambos. I think hers is blue and his is green. And like, I saw the story and I was like, oh, that's so cute. She put them on social media. So the Bodak Yellow rapper and new mom took on social media Saturday to show off her brand new purchase, a pair of matching Lamborghinis for her and her husband Offset, blue for her and green for him. The pair, who secretly tied the knot back in September 2017, have a lot to celebrate these days as they recently welcomed their first child together. So Culture's almost a month old now. I think July 10th is when she was born.
Mm-hmm.
So she's almost a month. So she posted this on social media, and she got a lot of criticism. And I'm not laughing because it's funny, but she got a lot of criticism and stuff, and people were asking like why you she said, why you leasing a car just to take pictures and stuff like that. And so basically she came back and was like, why y'all be trying to play me like is broke? Like, why? She fired back in a video that she later deleted. Y'all be saying that my cars are leased. Me and my husband, we don't lease around here. So basically she ended up having to well, she didn't have to, but she did. She posted her bank statement, and she paid for the car in cash. $548,736.97.
And so, like, the big thing behind this all, because didn't she get she got a Rolls Royce or something before, or something, right?
A Bentley worth $300,000. And why is that such a thing, Bob?
Because I thought she doesn't have a driver's license.
She doesn't. She doesn't have a license. But this is the thing. She said, and I had to cash out completely because I don't have an effing license. But I don't give a F. If I'm going to rap about having a Lambo, I'm going to own a mother effing Lambo. You know what I'm saying? So me and Bopp were talking about, we were talking about this Monday, I think, and like why, how like having a license to some people is such a huge deal, and to others, like there's like 30, 40-year-olds now who don't know how to drive and never will. Just because, like, depending on where you live and stuff like that. But I thought it was...
And we had discussed, say you're living in New York to where you only use public transportation. That's all you use. So there's no need to get a license, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, but what happens when, let's say, you got to go visit your whomever. You got to go visit. You can't get a rental.
No.
Because you don't have a driver. So now you got to... What if they don't have no taxis? What if they have no Ubers in the area?
You are SOL.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. I feel like it's a skill everybody should have.
Yeah,
because it's not
absolutely.
difficult. It's like...
I feel like it's one of your, like, stepping stones in learning,
I feel it takes, I don't know, maybe a month to truly learn how to drive and be confident with it. And then takes a day to get your license. You'll be all right.
Yeah, and it's
and
one
I'm
of those
sure
things.
she's not going to have to wait in line either.
Yeah.
So it's not like me where I go to Houston and I have to wait 7 hours to get my license. So hence why mine's about to expire because I have not updated it in 6 years.
The funniest part of this, because I took this from an article, and the funniest thing that I thought was from the article said, Cardi B will have some more time to learn to drive her new car this fall, as she recently dropped out of her planned tour with Bruno Mars.
That's true.
But, we already talked about it, but, she's not ready to leave culture yet. So, that's understandable.
Here's the thing, that really gets me, because when you buy a Lamborghini, or really any supercar out there. I know my mother, she bought a Cadillac, and it was the same thing. You get free driving lessons teach you how to drive this car.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Because my mom got a something sport, so she got their fancier one. So she could go to their track, and they have free lessons or free 3-day lessons. And it's they literally teach you how to drive those supercars, because you can't. Just some random just can't hop in a Lamborghini and drive it. I
can't go from driving my 2005 Saturn Ion to a Lambo in one day.
Not with that attitude, you can't. But it's it's so different that I thought it was they legally require you to have at minimum 3 days training on how to do things.
I feel like they probably would.
Because definitely you're taking these race cars and putting them on the street, so you have to have special training to be driving these cars. Because so let's say you're shifting up. I'm pretty sure all Lambos are manual. Some car is going to yell at me and say no, they can be whatever, which I typically, if you think of a supercar, it's going to be a manual.
Yeah.
So you throwing in, you jumping in these manuals, a normal manual kit is kind of whatever, but these are first gear, you can make it to 100.
Yeah.
So these got so much power that you barely touch it in the gas and you're going.
I know nothing about cars, but yeah, Bopp knows everything. So
I do not know everything because I don't know if they come in automatic. But
I don't know.
I don't know, but I do know what my mom's been told. I know a little bit. I know a little bit because
he knows a thing or two. He's a jack of all trades.
I had looked at purchasing a Lamborghini that was $40,000. It was a really old one, but
whoa.
At one point in my life.
At one point.
And they're yeah, you have to have training on how to do this.
And you're
cool.
No.
Because I remember there was a story, this guy, that he was at a hockey game and he had to make a hole in one from this tiny little hole from the other side or whatever. Anyway, he made it. They gave him a Lamborghini. He crashed it that weekend because he didn't know how to drive it. So something like that. But I digress on that.
I digress. So, the Plain White Tees. I haven't heard that name in the long... Well, that's a lie. So, I don't know. Have you ever seen the show Greek?
No.
It used to be on ABC Family, which is now Freeform.
Okay.
But basically, I always thought that, Greek kept them in business because they were on Greek. I think the theme song to Greek was from the Plain White Tees. They featured on there a lot. Basically, the show Greek is about college and
imagine that.
Yeah, right. There was a girl in college. It's about sorority life in college, basically. Sorority and fraternities. A girl comes. She's already in college, and her little brother comes to the same school. He's joining a fraternity. She's in a sorority. Blah 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 blah. So, but the Plain White Tees are most famous for their song "Hey There, Delilah."
So I'm actually probably going to have to check out the show Greek, actually.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you'd like it.
Shameless plug, recruitment's coming up at Tarleton. If you're a guy, go ahead, go through recruitment.
You can't plug your fraternity, but you can plug
I said go ahead and go through recruitment.
Yeah, I'm in a sorority called Sleep Cup Sleep. I'm just kidding. I'm not in a sorority. But a lot of my friends are, so it's cool. I'm not racist. I have black friends.
Exactly.
No. they're
I have
cool.
Greek friends.
Yeah, I'm so non-sororitist. I have Greek friends. No, it's cool. It's not for me, but that's cool. It's cool. My mom's in a sorority. The sorority that my mom was in is here, and she was like, "Are you gonna rush?" And I was like, "Probably not," but
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody.
But I went through it with an open mind, mostly because I was new on campus. I didn't know anybody, so I just want to make some friends. I said, hey, worst comes to worst, I meet some new people, so why not? So I went through.
You make some brothers.
So I went through and, I'm loving it. So, it's like she said, it's not for everybody. But I do encourage you to go through recruitment.
So basically, Hey There Delilah is now going to become a TV show.
Okay.
So basically, the song is about Hey There Delilah, what's it like in New York City? It's kind of about like a long distance relationship.
So is it going to be like a very loose adaptation? I'm trying to see how they could keep this going for.
Well, yeah. See, that's the thing. I feel like, well, the song is not super specific.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like they could do what they want. Basically, the song is literally about a struggling singer-songwriter and then a New York City university student. And so, and he's pledging to write a song for her on the night they meet.
Mm-hmm.
And that promise changes their lives forever in unexpected ways. So it's either going to start probably like with the night they met. I feel like, have you ever seen the show? It's on FX. Or no, there's a show on Netflix called Love. Basically, I think it's just going to start from the night they meet, the night he writes the song, and then blossom forward. It's going to be a dramedy, so like a drama comedy, and I think I'll probably watch. It sounds interesting.
I might give it a watch. Well, you let me know how it is. Maybe
I'll let you know. It's I think basically it's going to be a love story that they're going to break up in the end. But
which is I'm just curious to see how they're going to adapt it. Like because like you said, there's not that much like pertinent or not so much pertinent information. But you said it's very broad and vague.
Well, yeah. Well, that's good because that means they can creatively do anything they want.
I mean, that's true, but at the same time, it's just kind of where does it root itself? You know what I mean?
I think I don't know how they meet. But I think basically it's going to start with them meeting in a bar or something. And then he's a singer-songwriter. She's a student. And then, they're going to they like start talking and it's a long distance thing, but eventually he'll get big and they'll come back together. I don't know. We'll have to see, but they're pitching it, I believe, this week to different formats and things. So we'll see who decides to pick it up.
We'll look forward to it and see what happens with that, and we'll let you know.
And then also, so J. Cole said, "Feed me beats." KOD, I don't know if you guys listen to KOD, but I listen to KOD, the album, and then KOD is probably one of my favorite songs from it. Mm-hmm. Also, I like ATM, but
KOD is a really good song.
I jammed to that in the car. He's ready for more lyrical warfare to close out 2018 in historic fashion. So Jermaine, which if you didn't know that's what the J stands for, it stands for Jermaine. Mm-hmm. He put the rap world on notice with a fiery tweet on Monday. So that was, Monday, August 6th. And it sounds as if the Dreamville CEO could be hitting the studio quite a bit for his tour, which starts in Miami tomorrow. So he's saying, "Feed me beats, everything's getting murdered." Basically, he's telling people to send him beats. He's going to murder him. He's going to, rap on beats and stuff. And so I won't go too super into detail about that, but I love J. Cole. And the thing I love about him is that he loves what he does. He loves being a rapper. He loves telling his truth. And I like that he is not afraid to just get in there.
This has happened once before with, I believe it was Lil Wayne. He did this before.
Probably.
And so I believe it's like feedmebeats@gmail.com. So like if you have a track, you want to submit to it, all you got to do is email him the track. He's not charging or nothing. And there's a chance you upload it and you'll be tearing up on your beat. So like I said, I believe it was feedmebeats@gmail.com. So if you're a music producer, you want to try to do it, maybe you're not. Maybe you just have a project you want to send up there and see what could happen. So now's your time to do that. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a little bit about sports now. So we got this thing coming up, and I don't know if you know, we had one of our fellow DJ. Well, he no longer works with us. So I'll give a shout out to our boy DJ Big Chris.
What's up, Chris? How you doing, bud? We miss you. Hey, come be on the podcast.
And he also, I believe he was on Hank FM. Right?
Yeah. He also was Hank FM for a little bit.
Sunday, he did Sundays 1 to 5. He was on air talent for Hank FM as well. Well, he is a big hockey fan. And
yes, he is.
So you know what they just announced? The Dallas Stars have a grand opening of their Mansfield hockey rink. And so this is where the Dallas Stars are going to be playing. And our friend Chris loves
the Dallas Stars.
And he loves watching hockey. And
Chris,
he just so happens to live in Mansfield.
So I don't know if he knows this, but happy day, Chris. You're going to be so excited. Now, I know he likes the Lone Star Brahmas, too, and they aren't too far from here. I went to a couple Dallas Stars. Well, I went to one Dallas Stars game this year, and I feel bad because I didn't go to see the Stars. I went to see them play the Maple Leafs, and the Maple Leafs won, so go Canada A. But I enjoy hockey. I like watching hockey. But Chris is the one who actually got me into it. And so, I don't know, when we heard about this story, I thought it was so cool because he's going to love it. He's going to love being able to go home and then just be like, oh, hey, hockey game. Might as well check it out. So,
which if you have not seen hockey live, you should see it at least once because I think it's like a minimum requirement in the NHL to have like a minimum 2 fights a game. So,
Oh, I love the fights. That's my favorite part.
That's what we go for. So,
exactly.
Like, I encourage you. Now we got one right here in Mansfield. So that's what, 30 minutes away from here?
Is it?
30, 45 minutes. Not that far.
Not too far.
Now we can go watch NHL. Because before we'd have to drive down to Dallas, and that's an hour and a half, 2 hours probably with traffic. So, I might end up watching some. I know in Houston we used to have the Houston Aeros. They're now I think they're in Iowa or something. There's something else
somewhere.
now.
Well,
Whatever.
NFL teams do the same thing.
I know.
The LA Rams.
Well, we had the Houston Oilers are now. Aren't they the Chargers?
Yeah, I think so.
So. No, but we got the Houston Texans. But
and we got them Dallas Cowboys.
So, yeah, true that. And then speaking of Houston sports, we finally got a confirmation on our boy
Melo.
So
we've talked about it before, and it's still just a verbal confirmation. He's in Africa right now, so he's saying when he gets back from Africa, he'll sign the papers. So probably next week we'll tell you, hey, it's officially official. But yeah, he's gonna play for the Rockets next season. I don't know how many seasons for, but he's gonna play for the Rockets. So, Bopp,
yes,
do you have another sports story?
No, that is actually all I got because I'm lame, I guess.
No, you're good. I have one, and this is probably gonna take a little bit of time, but I have a question for you. Okay. Well, I have a story, and then it poses a question because you were a student athlete.
Okay.
So, and I told Bopp, I said, no, I don't want you to see the screen. So basically, the headline is North Carolina suspends 13 football players for selling team-issued shoes. So UNC, if you don't know, UNC, which my grandma's from North Carolina, my dad's from North Carolina, so big UNC fans. I'm actually a Duke fan, but I'll cheer for UNC when they're not playing Duke. They are known for being good at basketball, football, baseball too, and they're sponsored by Michael Jordan. That's where he went.
Okay.
So 13 players are going to miss games in 2018 due to NCAA violations. Basically, the players, they sold team-issued shoes. And it's not the first time this has happened. They had a CTE issue go on a while back, and so they're saying, backlash has come out basically saying that they think that more is being done, about these kids selling their shoes than the cause of CTE and stuff. One guy, he used to play, I want to say he played at Duke. But he came on Twitter and said, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we sold our shoes and other things in college for money. If you're a sneakerhead like me, some of these shoes are worth thousands of dollars. I don't blame the kids at UNC for selling special edition Jordan shoes. Hey, NCAA, again, pay the kids. So, Carl Dukes.
Okay.
And then another guy, Tyler Palmatier, touched on this in my notes yesterday, but Lincoln Riley was asked today about the North Carolina players who were suspended for selling their school-issued shoes. UNC, obviously a Jumpman school like OU is now. Riley, we've absolutely covered it, and we don't expect any issues here, but he seemed to disagree with the rules' logic, noting that students can sell things that belong to them. So what do you think about not this issue, but what do you think about playing in the NCAA? What do you think about these student athletes not being paid? Because that's been a big issue.
I will give you my take on this. I'm going to go ahead and start with I'm going to answer that question or answer my thoughts on what is going on. Mm-hmm. So the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the big thing is you don't. If you have not seen the movie, you don't have to watch the movie. But the b don't work when you play football. You can't work. You have zero money. So even if you have a full ride, you're still broke. Like you have zero. You have zero source of income. And so it's a little bit different at the big school, but here you have to buy your equipment isn't given to you. You buy it, so it's legally yours. So let's say here we had limited edition Jordans or whatever. If I were to have sold them, it's okay because I legally bought those.
Okay, so like because don't y'all get cleats? Or did you get cleats when you were playing?
When you start up, it's $75 for all of your equipment, and then an extra $15 for just in case you need something extra, I think.
So, but so that includes like your cleats.
That included my entire uniform.
Okay, so you paid for that.
Yeah, so I paid for it.
Okay.
So if I wanted to sell it, they can't say nothing cannot say anything about it. But also to touch on, like I'm talking about, that I was broke when I was playing, and I was doing roughly. I made this mistake in high school. I did, all AP, all due credit classes, and played football. So I was like, oh, why can't I do 18 hours and play football in Tarleton? I can do that. Well, there's one thing that I failed to realize, that in high school, they can only legally hold you for 3 hours for practice, where in college, they have control of your entire life. So I think 12 hours a day was strictly football. 8 hours, I know, was practice and weightlifting and conditioning. So I had 12 hours of my day was gone, and that's not including going to school and whatnot. So I think in the end, I'd get roughly 4 to 5 hours of sleep if I was lucky. And I'm always broke, and I'm always struggling. So you're always doing these side hustles as athletes to try to, so you're not broke all the time, so you can go out and you can like enjoy college, because while you are experiencing something in college that a lot of other people can't and they want to, you're missing out on the major experience of college and life, because you can't, let's say, okay, hey, we're going out to the bar tonight, 50 Cent Wells or whatever. Well, I can't, because I have to be up on the field at 4 a.m. tomorrow. I can't do that. I can't do these things, or I can't afford it, even if I could. And then it's just like, I believe it is a job, because I was putting in 80 hours a week easily to football. And it is a job. And yes, my college was paid for, but I was still broke. I was still struggling, which causes, like I said, you would have to do some side hustles. So I was trying to do side hustles, odd jobs, trying to get money, and that gets you in trouble. Like that leads the chance to get you in trouble, getting suspended, thrown off, lose your scholarship. And I do believe that college athletes should be paid as student workers, if nothing else. Just like we are student workers and we get paid, because our football, even the football program, brings in millions of dollars a year in revenue for the school.
Yeah, that's true.
Millions of dollars. Okay,
so another question. Mm-hmm. Do you think that there is a difference because, NCAA, I don't know if they paid for the things. All I know is that they were school issued. Mm-hmm. Do you think it makes a difference and they probably weren't. Honestly, I don't know how a full ride scholarship works, but I know how my tuition works, and I know that in my tuition there's certain fees that I pay, even for things that I don't use. So I would assume that maybe these players do have to pay a fee for the uniform fees and stuff like that, but it's covered by their scholarship. Do you think that it makes a difference if by school issued, they're saying that the players didn't necessarily have to pay money for their uniform and it was given to them by the program?
Here's the thing, and I disagree with a lot of NCAA's rules, because NCAA states that collegiate athletes cannot make they cannot make money off of them, just their status as a football player or a basketball player or a softball player or volleyball player or whatever sport you play. So that means Johnny Football got in a lot of trouble because somebody paid him to sign a football or sign a helmet or something. He got in trouble for that. And I can understand why they want to do these things. They want to keep away from corruption and bribery. But the biggest thing is they are broke. A lot of athletes, their grades would improve, their lives would improve, their moods would improve. I feel like they would improve as athletes as if they were, I'm not saying a ton of money. I'm saying like how you and I, we log and we get paid whatever. Like even if it's minimum wage, 80 hours a week, livable.
Yeah.
Definitely as a college student where their college is paid for, livable. And it's not like it's going to kill the football program, because even if they paid, let's see, we had when I played, we had roughly 60 athletes. So we did that math. It would cost maybe $100,000 a year. And
when you think about the money that they're bringing in, that's nothing. They're literally building a new
a
stadium
brand
right
new
now.
stadium. And I think that costs what, 20 something, 10, 12, 20 million?
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
And then they're just getting around to an engineering building,
which we've been needing for a long time, which really makes me mad because the time that I leave is when we get an interactive engineering program.
Also, the ag building is trash. We need a new ag building too. So,
but it's just for that $100,000 a year to pay these athletes, I feel like they will get a return because they're improve the life of their player, mood of their player, capabilities. I think in turn their athlete will do better. And this is coming from, like, I had a full ride, but I was always broke. I never had money. And I was struggling, trying to do odd jobs, just trying to do whatever I could to get money. And you can get in trouble that way and lose your scholarship and lose everything. So I feel like a lot of it's outdated. Like I said, I understand they're trying to get away from bribery and whatnot and corruption, but I do think that they need it. Like I said, if nothing else, just minimum wage. I'm not asking for like my tuition my tuition costs plus like double that. So I'm not asking like $15,000 a semester. No, I'm talking like,
a livable wage.
Like they're probably $3,000 a player per semester.
Okay, so one final question. Do you agree with their suspension?
No, I do not, because like I said, I've been there. You're struggling. You're trying to make money. You don't have time to work. You're struggling.
And a suspension, believe it or not, so a lot of people use, and this is why, I think we've talked about it before, going straight from high school to the pros and how, I'm not a big fan of it because I think you need to get that college experience. Mm-hmm. Also, college is when you build up your highlight reel. Mm-hmm. So one game can mess with your future. Oh, yeah. So
that one game you might have been going against maybe not so much as a bad school, but like a good school, and they have a good player, and you just had a great game against them. That could make it. Because maybe they have a star person that's already been scouted and going into NBA or NFL or whatever sport, and you just go out there and you dominate them. Boom. There you go. There's your chance. So,
like I said, I can't really speak on it because I'm not a college athlete, but I do know, being someone who pays my own tuition, I've taken out loans for that, and then I'm working for a living. I get financial aid, but that doesn't cover everything you need. And I don't ask my parents for money. I don't get money from my parents. And so just being someone who goes to school and works is, hard enough.
And we had talked about how, these athletes, they don't have any money. So they're going to be doing all these things. And that's why I don't think they should be punished for these. Because, okay, you're going to go through your life. If you're a collegiate athlete and you're going to do it all 4 years or 5 years or however long you're in school, you're not going to get a college experience. Yeah. You are not going to get the college experience that you should get.
And okay, the thing, when I saw this story, the headline didn't read all the way. So it said 13 UNC players suspended for selling. And I thought it was going to say selling drugs.
Oh, Lord, no.
I remember when Cruising with the Planet was going on, they always had a drug story, and it was always either a coach or some players getting caught selling drugs and stuff. I was relieved to see that they're selling their shoes. I mean, honestly, you said, you've got to make money somehow.
That should show just how desperate they are to, like, I feel I'm not asking for, like, I wouldn't ask for a ton of money, but, just give me enough money so I don't want to eat at the D Hall every single day. Give me some
No
money.
one does.
Give me some money to go out to Chili's. Give me some money to go get some groceries.
Yeah.
We just won. We just won a bowl game. I want to go out to the bar and drink and celebrate. Well, or just drink and celebrate in general. Well, I can't afford it, so that sucks. And it's just, and it doesn't affect like everybody. Some people are fine and doesn't affect them, but other people.
Well, some people are, still getting money from their parents or things like that. But some people actually, they're supporting themselves. So,
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that would be a good story to ask you because I know you were a college athlete and you'd have a different perspective.
So, listeners, if you agree or disagree with me, please let us know. Like, I'm not against criticism. I honestly do believe like our college athletes should make some money, make any money really. I'm not, like I said, I'm not asking for
it's not
huge amounts.
It's not like $15 per tackle per game, but like I
which
think
people
that
could probably lose money doing that. But
I think that's kind of why they don't do it because players are going to be more incentivized. But I think that charging like an hourly wage for the amount of time that you're going to be at practice, the amount of time that you're putting into games and stuff like that.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it's paying for your school. I get that.
School is not the only thing, though. But the thing is, because you
can go through school and do absolutely nothing and just do school and not get any of the experience. The thing is, you're going to regret that.
They'll pay for schooling, right? And housing sometimes. But what if they don't pay for your housing? Then you have to come up with your own housing. Or even if they do pay for housing, that's not necessarily including groceries.
And they don't.
Like that.
And they don't pay for books. They only pay for your tuition.
Books are expensive.
Yeah. So, and that's another thing. That's why I see like those people that say, "Screw this! I'm going straight to the NFL. I'm skipping junior year. I'm going." I understand because you're broke. You're not getting an experience. It sucks. I mean, it's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. It was great, but it sucks. It really does suck.
And I think who's doing that right now?
I know we had talked about it because we had talked about the draft about
Baker Mayfield. He is going to basically be the highest paid player in the NCAA because he's going back to A&M, but I think, or not A&M, OU, but I think he's going to finish off his degree in the off season. But he's going to be playing for the Browns. Speaking of football, is like so close.
I know. I'm excited. I keep hearing. I live actually in front of the football stadium right now, so every morning I wake up. Definitely when I do morning edition, I can hear the whistles, and I'm just like, oh man, I miss it. I know Texans. They started up their training camp. I'm getting ready. I'm getting excited. I am ready for football season, baby.
Me too. My cousin, I think he's walking on to the football team this year.
Okay, awesome.
So I'm super psyched for him. Shout out to Ryan. Do you think?
And also, the best thing that's coming up in the fall is the only time that I wouldn't say us washouts, we get to go and play some flag football. We got the intramural championship, so all of us has-beens can go out there and show them what we got, or what we used to have and we no longer have. Right,
and shout out to intramurals. Me and my friends just actually formed a softball team, so
there you go.
I'm super excited to see how that plays out.
Well, I'm actually probably gonna be reffing the flag football, so I'm sorry if I do you wrong. I'm sorry.
Just don't make any bad calls, man.
Yeah.
Just take the money that they're going to give you.
Yeah, you're right. I'll just take the money. $20, man. So, again, just let us know on your thoughts. We are always open for any feedback from our listeners. Anything that's going on, just let us know. If there's something you want us to talk about, if something that we missed, let us know.
Absolutely.
We are always down for criticism. Just let us know what we can do to help.
We're always down for criticism, and we love to hear ourselves talk.
That's true, because we just want to grow. We just want to make the show better and more enjoyable for you all. So thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure to stop by next Wednesday at Wave of the Planet. If you enjoyed the show, please rate, review, and subscribe for updates when new episodes drop. And follow our station on Twitter and on Facebook at The Planet 107 to see everything going on at Tarleton Radio.